During the 50th anniversary of the death of Martin Luther King Jr., Bernie Sanders gave a speech in Jackson, Mississippi. And during his speech, he specifically talked about the economic injustices that members of the Democratic Party have been complicit in. And while he was mentioning that, he happened to mention Obama. Now that has angered some CNN contributors, one specific CNN contributor who we will get to in just a moment. But first, I wanted you to take a look at Bernie's speech and then we'll discuss.
The business model, if you like, of the Democratic Party for the last 15 years or so has been a failure. Now, what happened, people sometimes don't see that because there was a charismatic individual named Barack Obama who won the presidency in 2008, 2012. And he was obviously an extraordinary candidate, brilliant guy. But behind that reality, over the last 10 years, Democrats have lost about 1,000 seats in state legislatures all across this country. And you got significant numbers of states like Mississippi, where the governor, the legislature, the senators are all Republicans. Okay. Now, how does this happen at a time when the Republican agenda is the agenda of the billionaire class and is at war with working people? How does it happen that a party that wants to give tax breaks to billionaires and throw millions of people off their health insurance, they have actually wins elections? So one of the things that we have got to do, as I mentioned earlier, is make sure that the Democrats, you don't win elections unless you show up.
Now, following that speech, there was one commentator, a contributor on CNN by the name of Bakari Sellers who tweeted in response to what Bernie had to say, and he feels that Bernie's commentary there has completely destroyed his chances in 2020. Sellers tweets, y'all can defend Bernie if you want on MLK 50, his lack of self-awareness and arrogance in dismissing number 44, meaning Obama, is wild. Bernie 2020 died on April 4th, 2018.
Well, luckily, that's not an overstatement or anything. I'm greatly amused by this.
Yeah, so I'm curious as to what your take is on this.
Yeah, all right, so shocking that a CNN pundit would be pro-establishment against Bernie Sanders. My guess is he was ready to declare Bernie Sanders' campaign over the day before and would have done it the day after and would do it on almost every single day. And they love to bring up racial issues on Bernie Sanders. Why? Has Bernie been bad on racial issues? Not remotely. Nobody really actually argues that on the substance. In fact, here, let's go to P3 and B4. Reason people like Bernie Sanders, he's been consistent on all the issues for 40 years. That's him in a civil rights era time, chaining himself to an African-American woman, saying that if you're gonna evict them, you're gonna evict me. He's been consistent on it for his entire lifetime, and then they did. They arrested him, but no. We're gonna throw insults at him anyway. Why? Because he would bring change, and they're not in favor of change. So I'm sure that Sellers thinks that he got on CNN because he's awesome and he's just a brilliant pundit, and just the fact that he happens to be against people like Bernie Sanders is a coincidence. I got news for you. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that the overwhelming majority of pundits on television were for Hillary Clinton. I mean, my guess is Van Jones was for Bernie Sanders. He's a real progressive, good guy. Whether he was or was not for Bernie Sanders, I know Van Jones is a real progressive, right? And Nina Turner sometimes goes on CNN, bless her heart, and good. And that's it, we're done. Okay.
And you have to remember, CNN was the cable news network that would turn away from anything Bernie Sanders would do to show Trump's empty podium. And it was 24 hours, 7 days a week, Trump coverage. They gave Trump a tremendous amount, tremendous is a fitting word in this context. A free press, free advertising, and unfortunately the attention that he so desperately wanted. And so, okay, so enough CNN bashing. I want to get to the substance of what Bernie was saying, because I think it's important to actually dissect it and get to the heart of what he meant. He didn't say what he said to dismiss Obama or tear Obama apart during this event at all. What he was trying to say, and what I wish that people on the left would accept, is that many people who originally or initially identified as part of the Democratic Party left the party because they felt abandoned when it came to economic injustice in the country. Democrats used to be the party that did look out for the little guy, but it has become so incredibly corporatized. And unfortunately, you had someone like Obama who was brilliant, who was charismatic, who did say the right things and campaigned on the right things. But even though he did manage to improve the economy somewhat, he didn't do enough for a huge portion of the country. Wages still remain stagnant. People are still suffering. And I think that it's important to reflect on ourselves as people who identify as part of the left and think about what we can do to improve moving forward.
I'm not done with Sellers or CNN yet.
Okay,
but okay, hold on though.
Yeah.
On your point, look, Bernie didn't even say that. He should say that, but he didn't say that. He said the business model of the Democratic Party in the last 15 years has been failure. He said it was, you didn't see that much though, because Obama was so brilliant and charismatic, it covered up their failure. That's not an insult of Obama. First of all, he called him brilliant. If you think brilliant is an insult and not sarcastic remotely at all, and so I can't help you because you've got issues with the English language, right? But second of all, I don't agree with Bernie. I think that Obama is part of the failure. Can I say that, Sellers? Can I say that right now? I know we're past the MLK 50 day. So by the way, you don't own him. So I love Martin Luther King. We did segment after segment yesterday about him. We do it all the time because he's my hero. And you don't own the opinion of all African Americans. Oh, Bernie's dead, his political career is dead because you decided it, Mr. CNN pundit. Who do you speak for? You speak for all Americans, but millions of people voted for Bernie Sanders. He has, I believe in one of the polls that I saw, we can look it up. I know that television pundits have a terrible time with polls. When it showed that Bernie Sanders would do better against Hillary Clinton, they're like, I don't believe my lying eyes. All of a sudden, fake news. You didn't believe in polls, right? You said, no, it can't be true. I hate Bernie Sanders. It can't be true that he has a 12-point lead over Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump. It can't be true. It can't be true that every poll shows that. So now, Bakari Sellers decided, no, Bernie 2020 died. It died yesterday because he misinterpreted something that he said about Obama on that particular day. So you speak for all African Americans, you speak for all Democrats. I don't know who anointed you that, except CNN, who just happened to hire maybe 2 people that are for Bernie Sanders and about 150 reporters, anchors, producers that all support Hillary Clinton. Just a coincidence though, just a coincidence. Look, it's not that there is a conspiracy. It is that they look for like-minded people. And CNN is part of the establishment. And they think Hillary is kind of awesome because the status quo is wonderful. What could be wrong with the status quo? We're all rich, right? So they hire like-minded people like Sellers, who all happen to think Bernie Sanders, the minute they interpret his statements as a faux pas, he's done. Look, I like Joe Biden. I'm not gonna vote for him. I'm gonna vote for Bernie Sanders unless something changes, right? I'm open to facts. But I like Biden. But if I said, even though I'm probably gonna vote against him, on any faux pas, the thing he said about 7-Eleven, that's it, Joe Biden's career is dead. Joe Biden's career is dead, right? That's not how it works. And it's preposterous to say because I'm interpreting what he said as against Obama on that particular day, his career is dead. Because it's not about that. It's not like he gets to decide his career. It's to smear him as racist. That's why you said it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, tell me why you said it. Tell me why you said it. That was your implication. And it's gross. Look, you do it about Donald Trump, it is verifiable. I can show you 12 reasons why Donald Trump is absolutely a racist. Central Park 5 and the list goes on and on. When a guy's fought for civil rights his whole life, to do that to him anyway, because you'd like to protect the establishment, even if you don't realize that's why you're doing it, even if you don't realize that's why you were hired, it's still sick. You just watched the video by the Young Turks, home of the revolution. If you'd like to get a lot more than that, get the full show by becoming a member. tytnetwork.com/join.